Hi, I'm Amani Forrester. Welcome back to my channel. I just want to thank everyone who is new for subscribing, and I also want to thank all of my older subscribers for sticking around as well. I'm so glad that you guys have been enjoying the Lies They Told series. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. It is a roller coaster. It's crazy. But, anyways, today we're on the topic of bitter old males who ruin young men's relationships. Now, this video was inspired by a Reddit post that went viral a few days ago, and I was like, I need to share this because it's a real thing. And so, anyways, make sure to listen up and take note. Oh, before we get started, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share this video, don't forget to like it, and if you're interested in my book, 30 Reasons Why Men Deserve Nothing, it's available on Amazon. Thank you so much to everyone who's been purchasing. I really hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to leave a review. And if you want to read it for free, go ahead if you have Kindle Unlimited. But anyways, let's get into today's video. So a woman on Reddit writes, 27 female, accused of baby trapping my 28-year-old male fiance when my tubes are tied. So she says, I had an argument with my fiance this morning. We've been dating for 2 years, engaged since September, and for the most part, everything has been going well. We've been planning a quiet backyard ceremony so that we can save up for a house instead. We've been communicative and managed to get through fights in the past, but this takes the cake. He's been evasive for the past 2 weeks about the wedding or any future plans we've made, and I basically had to corner him this morning before leaving for work to ask what's going on. Turns out he was dog sitting for his uncle early in February, and they had a chat that stuck with him. When they were talking about life and how things have been, his uncle admitted that he resented his ex wife for baby trapping him, and now he's divorced while his ex wife is dating again, and my fiance's cousin is an entitled a hat who terrorized him when they were both teenagers. Turns out it's been sitting in his mind. He says he thinks I'm about to spring a pregnancy announcement on him and trap him in the marriage. This is despite the fact that he knows that I don't want kids. I basically raised my siblings and lost out on my childhood. I told him about not wanting kids when we first started dating. We were both on the same page, and I asked him about getting a vasectomy in the past, which is why it's surprising that he thinks I'm trying to baby trap him. Thing is, the first chance I got, which still took a long time, I got my tubes tied. I literally can't get pregnant. I reminded him of this fact, and that made him go really quiet. He didn't even apologize or say anything. So I told him that if he's going to be like this over a made up issue in his head, I don't know how much I can trust him in a real crisis. Now I'm wondering if I'm too harsh and what steps we can take to move forward, or if I'm the right amount of angry and should just end it. I have no idea what to do right now. And for me, it's pretty obvious that she has the right to be upset about this. He is projecting his own uncle situation onto her, which is completely unfair. But yeah, a lot of women tend to ask, am I the a hole when they are perfectly right to feel how they feel? So I'm just going to get into some of the comments. So one person says, I'm confused. You stated that this man intends on marrying you, right? You're engaged. Baby trapping is when someone intentionally gets pregnant using methods like deception to keep their partner from leaving the relationship. Does he actually intend on marrying you? And then they say, I would demand a response from him. His words and behavior are a red flag. I would postpone the wedding until the relationship is in a better place. Maybe this needs to be addressed with a counselor. And they actually got 3.5 thousand likes for that comment. And then, so OP says, the only reason I didn't drag a response from him is that I would have been late for work and I have a meeting I couldn't miss. But if he doesn't have a response when I get home, I'm definitely going to call off the wedding, if not the relationship. So people are agreeing, that's right, just move on. I'm going to go to a different comment thread and see what else people are saying. This person says, his uncle sounds like a real winner. Misogyny at its finest. Why is he afraid of getting trapped into a marriage when he's literally planning a wedding with you? Like the F? Marriage also isn't a trap. Anyone can leave at any time, regardless of whether there's kids. And the fact that he forgot your tubes were tied, is he dumb? You sound like the right amount of angry to me. Personally, I'd be hesitant to marry someone who is so easily swayed by his sexist uncle that you're gonna somehow try to trick him into a life of misery. On top of that, he's been dwelling on this for 2 weeks and never communicated what's going on with him. He just completely checked out until you forced it out of him. I'm not sure I'd want to marry anyone who, A, thinks marriage is a trap for men, B, let his uncle convince you that you're just like the ex wife in one conversation, C, can't communicate or apologize, D, surrounds himself with such crappy male role models, and E, doesn't understand how Tide tubes work. So OP says, I think this is exactly my problem. I don't know if he thinks I deliberately ruined my life just to mess his up, or I've been lying since I met him. I don't want to make a knee jerk decision, but I'm seriously reconsidering this relationship. And then I found this response to be very insightful. She says, he thinks women are liars. You're a woman. He thinks you're a manipulative liar because you're a woman. The person you are that he has come to know isn't as important as his sexist ideology. That would give me major pause, and I'd be investigating his attitudes towards women. And that's what it is. They allow their insane misogynistic ideas to just kind of override actual reality. I wouldn't be able to live with someone like this either. This person literally sounds like they would drive you insane. Okay, so two more comments that I'm going to highlight. So this person writes, are you sure this is what's really going on and not on the moment deflection? Either way, I think it would be a good idea to postpone the wedding until you can get to the bottom of this insanity. You are certainly sensible to consider how he would behave in an actual crisis. Accusing you of things that cannot happen is unhinged. Punishing you for things that cannot happen and haven't happened yet is abusive. You are the right amount of angry. Only you can decide if this is a relationship worth trying to save. But if someone came to me with all this nonsense, I would not believe that this was the real reason unless I had reason to believe they were seriously mentally unwell. Your fiance is either lying to you or has completely lost touch with reality and needs to see a doctor. And that's the thing, too. It's funny. A lot of these males will claim that they want women to be their peace and all they want is peace. Why did this man bring war to her? Everything was going well. They were planning their wedding. They were happy. But he had to go and create conflict, create war. See, you can't expect other people to bring things into your life that you don't emit yourself. You don't possess peace within yourself. Someone cannot bring you peace. You don't possess self-love. No one can bring you that love. Everywhere you go in life, there you are, you know? You can't run from you. Every relationship that he gets into, he's going to find problems with it because he's bringing the problems. But anyways, someone says, why is your fiance worried that he'll be trapped in a marriage? Maybe don't get married. And then OP says, I don't even know. Maybe he thinks he'd be trapped with a child that can't exist. And then someone says, based on how you described him in some of the other comments, is he mentally challenged in some way, or what's the deal? And OP says he's not. He's a smart guy, but he's weak when it comes to social influence. At best, he's impressionable. At worst, he can be somewhat spineless. I thought that he had improved a lot over the past couple years, but I guess wrong. And then the final comment that I'm going to read, somebody says, he is straight up telling you that he doesn't trust you. Does he not believe that you got the procedure done? Let's pretend as a hypothetical that you could get pregnant because I honestly believe he forgot you had them tied and he was working off the pregnant possibility. He's telling you that he thinks you're going to deceive him and trap him in a marriage via baby, that he might come to resent you if this occurred. This would be a different story if he were just a boyfriend, but he's not. He's your fiance. Marriage is a logical next step. My option, he's getting cold feet and looking for a way out and is grasping at straws to make you the bad guy. He wants to be the victim in the breakup. If I were you, I would hold off on wedding plans until this is sorted out. If his faith in you is so weak that his uncle or outsiders could change his mind, then you need someone who doesn't have the backbone of a chocolate eclair. And then OP says, yeah, this is the worst case scenario that I've been afraid of. 2 years with a man who I thought I communicated well with and just doesn't trust me despite the fact that we've made life plans together. I think no matter what happens when I get home, I'm calling off the wedding. So, yeah, there you have it. A man who destroyed his nephew's relationship. And honestly, this is just a microcosm of the larger issue of the single lonely men epidemic. There are too many bitter old males reaching back towards not only young men and their families, but they're going online, they're going on podcasts, and they're spewing their poison, which is their personal dislike and mistrust of women, their own failed relationships. They're projecting that onto young men. These older men, they need therapy, they need counseling, but instead, they choose to project their issues onto their sons, their nephews, and impressionable young men on the internet. I'm sure the young man in this story will always remember how his uncle brainwashed him into ruining his relationship with his fiancée and destroyed his marriage before it ever had a chance to begin. And I'm sure many men will actually be able to look back when they're older and point a finger at the bitter, misogynistic males in their lives who poisoned their minds and prevented them from finding their person and being in a fulfilling relationship. It's sad, but it is what it is. Anyway, tell me what you think of the situation in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.